Happy holidays and welcome to Brunswick Now. I'm your host, Jim MacCallum. Each month we aim to bring you exclusive interviews with some very special people in our community and organizations as well. This month we'll meet a rising country music artist from right here in Brunswick County, C.C. Martin. During his interview we'll have the opportunity to hear his story and listen to a song or two from the recent Brunswick County Country Music Festival where he performed. Then we'll meet another fantastic community member doing some well-needed work for children in our schools. Kristy Disbrow will be with us to talk about her organization, Matthew's Ministry. Stay with us now for the next half hour as we bring you Brunswick Now.
Welcome to Brunswick Now, ATMC TV, Channel 3, bringing you the best of Brunswick.
But you like country.
CC, thanks for being with us today.
Thanks for having me.
Tell us where you're from.
I'm from right here in Brunswick County. I grew up in Southport. I went to South Brunswick High School, graduated in class of 1995. I grew up in a family-owned business, Martin's Auto Rebuilders. My dad's got a business there. We've been there since '88. So I just spent my life, moved here when I was 4 years old from Chesapeake, Virginia. So
well, it's no secret that our viewers love country music.
That's right.
When did you start playing country music?
Started playing country music probably about, really just a few years ago. I started out leading worship in church, you know, like a lot of folks in the country music community.
Sure.
And just started writing songs from the beginning, but actually, you know, pursuing going out and singing it and playing it. I've been playing at home for several years, but about 4 months ago I made up my mind to go to Nashville and just got tired of talking about it, and I think all my family and friends got tired of hearing about it, so I went ahead and just went to see what would happen and cut an album.
Well, it's a great story. Before we went on camera, you told me that you write all your music.
That's right. I write music. It's something I enjoy doing.
Where do you get the inspiration?
It just hits me at different times. You know, sometimes I spend a lot of windshield time in a car, you know, doing a lot of riding, and sometimes I'll get a beat. Sometimes I'll hear somebody tell a story or a line about something, and just kind of goes from there. Some of them happen fast, and some of them don't. But the better ones seem to happen in a hurry.
Good. We know about the Brunswick County Music Festival, which has already occurred this year, but in my judgment will become a great festival here in the county. Tell us about that.
Right. That is a festival that I've been working close with Brian MacCallum on. It's Planet Fun, super guy. Most people know him around here, just a great guy. And he took a chance on me and heard my CD and said I had something good and wanted to be part of it. And we just were bouncing some ideas around about having a concert series. And next thing you know, we're having a country music festival, and we're just going to pioneer an event that we believe is going to be as big as the 4th of July festival in about 5 years.
I won't be surprised. We have some footage of you playing a couple of songs at the festival that we're going to share with our viewers. The first one is called Help Me Make It Home Tonight. Can you tell us a little bit about that song? Yes,
sir. I was in a cabin in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. My dream is just to sit on the side of a mountain and write songs in the Tennessee rain, and that's just where I was that day. And I was out in a rocking chair in my blue jeans, just picking on my guitar, and the rain was coming down. I just started writing that song. And what that song's about is the balance that a man deals with between trying to provide for his family and trying to spend time with them.
Great.
And so many men get caught up in the trap of, you know, working all the time. You know, it's a good thing to support your family, then you try to spend time with them. And I think that's a tough thing for most men. You know, most people, period, that provide for their families.
Let's take a look and a listen.
I remember the day I took your hand. You were so beautiful that I could barely stand. I thought that I was strong. I'm learning through it all that I needed you more than I knew then. There's been a time or two I've been frustrated, and I prayed for the help to make it through. In the quiet I'm reminded the help that I was given was you. I've been building a kingdom that cannot stand, trying to raise a family best that I can, working to earn a dollar every way I know how, while my family is paying the price. So Lord, if there's a way, help me make it home tonight. Sometimes I'm late, a little overweight, don't say the things that I ought to when I should. I don't put things up, sometimes I don't shave, I'm a little rough around the edges, but you know that I love you. And I'm sure there's been a time or two you've been frustrated, you've prayed for the help to make it through. And I'm sorry if I let you down when you needed help and I wasn't around for you. I've been building a kingdom that cannot stand, trying to raise a family best that I can, working to earn a dollar every way I know how, while my family is paying the price. Lord, if there's a way, help me make it home tonight. See my wife, she's trying, doing the best she can. There's a baby that needs me, and I miss my little man. And I know if I don't work, the bills don't get paid, and things might get a little tight. But Lord, if there's a way, help me make it home. Lord, if there's a way, help me make it home tonight. Hope you like it.
This second song is a little different than the first, but still an original song written by you, and it's called "You Like Country." Can
That's
you
right.
tell us a little bit about that song?
Yeah, that song's about a woman that likes country music, but she doesn't want anybody to know it. And I think there's a lot of people out there that love country music, but they maybe hide it from their friends or
Yeah,
their family. And
sure.
it's kind of a cool song, just about somebody that thinks they don't like country music, but everything that they're describing says otherwise. So the hook line is, you better go buy some blue jeans because you like country.
All right, let's listen and enjoy that song as well.
She said, I don't like country, but I like that. She likes the cowboy boots and the cowboy hat. She likes a steel guitar and the fiddle too. She said, I ain't so sure that I don't like you. I said, girl, I hate to tell you, sounds like what you're telling me. You better go buy some blue jeans, 'cause you like country. No need to feel ashamed. If you like that southern twang, you might as well quit trying to hide it in front of your friends that act high and mighty. You can say what you want, you ain't fooling me. Go buy some blue jeans, 'cause you like country. She said, don't eat food that's been cooked over wood, but whatever this is, it tastes pretty good. She likes the way the grass is between her toes and the way the rowdy boys make black marks on the road. I said, girl, I hate to tell you, sounds like what you're telling me. You better go buy some blue jeans, 'cause you like country. No need to feel ashamed. If you like that southern twang, you like country. It ain't your fault if you hear a country song and you wanna sing along. Your toes are tapping, your hands are clapping, you wanna dance, it won't be long. There's no need to feel ashamed if you like that southern twang. You might as well quit trying to hide in front of your friends who act high and mighty. Yeah, you can say what you want, you ain't fooling me. You better go buy some blue jeans, 'cause you like country.
In my introduction, CC, I mentioned that you're a rising country music star. Tell us about your hopes and your plans for the future.
It's just to keep writing great country music and get in front of as many people as I can. You know, my plan, my desire, my dream is to, you know, pack out stadiums full of families, you know, with husbands, wives, kids, to come out and hear some great country music and just give the family something to go do where they're hearing some awesome music that's still family friendly.
Before we went on the air, you told me a story that was somewhat inspiring about a lady that you met. Can you tell our viewers about that?
Right. Met a lady in Charleston, South Carolina. She had done my laundry for me at the hotel I was staying at while I was in town working. And went to thank her. When I was leaving, couldn't find her. I heard a voice over my right shoulder and I said, "Son, did your laundry turn out okay?" And I said, "Yes, it did." And come to find out she was the lady that had done my laundry. So I reached in my pocket, handed her a few dollar bills, and thanked her for what she had done. She asked me what kind of music that I played. Told her I'd played some at church, and I also was planning to go to Nashville and record an album there. And went inside, settled my bill, came back out, and she had a clipboard, and she flipped over a business card on the back, and she asked me to come over there, and she said, "I want to get your autograph." And that was a very small feeling, a very humbling feeling. I mean, it's an honor, but at the same time, it's a very strange feeling when somebody asks you that for the first time. And so anyway, as I was signing it, I chuckled and kind of laughed, not at her, but it was a silly feeling. And she looked me dead in the face and she said, "No, honey, God's about to make your dreams come true." And at that point, it's faith really met my dream, and that's to me, that's when my dreams really came alive.
That's a great story. Tell us about your band here in Brunswick County.
Have an awesome band here. People would be amazed at the talent that's in my band. I've got George West. He owns West Christian Academy. He plays keyboard. Awesome keyboard player. Devin Granger, amazing drummer. I've got Grady Pope, just a phenomenal lead guitar player. I got Moses Frazier. He plays rhythm guitar. A great lead player as well, and he does some fill lead for us. So it's just a five-piece band, and we cover a wide range of sound, and we just make some great music. I'm excited for folks to see who's in the band and get to hear them play out more, and excited for what we have.
It's a great story, and it's a Brunswick County story.
That's right.
And that makes it even greater. We know you have some upcoming dates, and we'll put those on our screen so our viewers will know of those, but you're looking forward to those, obviously.
Absolutely. I'm on a program called New Discovered and Uncovered. They're going to put my songs on the radio, or You Like Country. They're going to put that on the radio in about 16 states on a program called New Discovered and Uncovered on Clear Channel Radio. And I'm also going to play New Year's Eve at Planet Fun, and we'll post. I believe they're going to post for us on television all the details of what's included with Planet Fun. We're going to have a concert inside on the lanes New Year's Eve. It's going to be a blast.
CC, tell us who has encouraged you in your music endeavors.
I'd have to say certainly my dad. Certainly my dad and my mom, my family. My dad actually paid for my album to go to Nashville, so that was a dad investing in his son's dream. My wife has been an awesome support to me. I didn't name her earlier in the band because she's part of me. My wife is an amazing harmony singer, sings harmony with me, so she's my support. She takes up all the slack that I don't pick up, so she's always cleaning up behind me and making sure things are going the right way.
That's great. Now, I know you've been on the radio as well. Tell us about that.
Right, been on Interstate 107.1 from South Charlotte all the way down to Florence, covering 14 counties. I've been on 1050 AM in Sanford, Southern Pines, and Fayetteville. I've been on New Discovered and Uncovered previously in 16 states. That's 97.5, I believe, out of WCOS out of Columbia, South Carolina. Jonathan Rush, the Morning Rush show. And so I've had some radio airplay, looking for more of. Anybody knows Don Chase, call him up and tell him he's got my CD and ask him to play it on WKML, because that's a local station, and really trying to get on there. I believe folks would really love to hear my music on that station.
Great. What's the feeling like to perform in front of thousands of people?
The biggest crowd I've played in front of was a couple thousand down in Charles, South Carolina at Texaco Country Showdown down there, and it's certainly a different feeling. It's a very energetic feeling, especially when they're liking what you're doing, and it's a flattering feeling. It's an awesome feeling to feel like people are there to hear something that you're doing and they're enjoying it, and it's a very encouraging feeling.
It's got to be a heart-thumping experience, but a very rewarding one.
It is. It's a rush. It's a rush.
A rush, yeah. I know you went to Nashville to record your album.
That's right.
And you played with some big names who assisted you in your album. Tell us about that. That's a great story.
That was a glorious experience. Tommy Harden, Reba McEntire's drummer, is playing drums. Mike Rojas, Country Music Awards Pianist of the Year, is playing keyboard. Rob McNally, who was on Lady Antebellum's On the Night album, is playing electric guitar. Scotty Saunders is playing steel guitar on 9 of the songs. He was on Kip Moore's Home album. Gary Morris is playing steel on Don't Give an Inch and Don't Tread on Me. He's Brooks and Dunn's former steel player. Larry Beard played rhythm guitar. He was on the first 3 Rascal Flatts albums, 3 Wooden Crosses, Honky Donk Badonka Donk. Eli Beard, his son, played bass on the album. I'm pretty sure he was on Kip Moore's Home album as well. And Tom Flora, who is actually George Strait's backup singer, his male harmony singer, was singing harmony behind me on my album. So it was just an amazing experience.
That's awesome. A dozen or so songs?
We did 11. Did 11 songs.
How long does it take to begin and record and complete an album of that time?
I actually sang the last time I went to Nashville. I did 9 songs. I did 2 the first trip. I sang all 9 songs the same day. Which was they said it was pretty good. They were kind of surprised.
That's a pretty good take, huh?
And yeah, we did 9. And then the first day you go in and we did all the instruments, and I do scratch vocals. And then the next day I went in and I sang all the songs that following day. So it took 2 days technically, because the first day is they do all the play, and you book a morning session and the evening session. Most of the time they can do 6 songs in a half day session. And then we broke for lunch. We went to lunch together and we came back and had a cool time of fellowship and took some pictures and just soaked it up best I could while I was there.
Great story. Now that our viewers know you, let's tell our viewers how they can get in touch with you and obtain your music.
You can go to ccmartinmusic.com, and again, that's www.ccmartinmusic.com. You can stream my music free there. You can buy it off iTunes. You can buy a CD there. And I also have Facebook. I'd appreciate anybody that would get on my Facebook page and like it,
Great.
Forward it to their friends. I'm also on Twitter. So I'm highly accessible, but it's ccmartinmusic.com.
That's great. CC Martin, I appreciate you being with us here today, and I'll get your interview right after the show.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
She said, I don't like country, but I like that. She likes the cowboy boots and the cowboy hat. She likes a steel guitar and the fiddle too. She said, I ain't so sure that I don't like you. I said, girl, I hate to tell you, sounds like what you're telling me is you better go buy some blue jeans, 'cause you like country.
Kristy, thanks for being with us here today.
Thank you for having me.
How did Matthew's ministry begin?
Matthew's ministry actually started in September 2010. At a mom's prayer group, we received a prayer request from a teacher to pray for a child in her class that did not have food to eat at home. And that began this journey for my family as immediately I emailed girlfriends and started collecting food on my front porch, and thinking at the time it was just for one family, and now realizing that there's many more children that do not have food in this county.
First things first, tell us what the backpack program is.
The backpack program, the way it works is children who are identified for the program through social workers, guidance counselors, or parent facilitators receive a separate backpack for food. This backpack goes out every Friday filled with food for the weekend, because most of these children receive free breakfast and free lunch at the school. They do not have that on the weekends, obviously. And then the backpack is returned empty on Mondays and refilled again.
So the purpose is to provide food and sustenance for school
Weekend
children
meals, yes.
on the weekends who
Yes.
otherwise would not have food.
Exactly.
Terrific. Where did you get the name Matthew's Ministry?
Matthew's ministry comes from the book of Matthew in the Bible, chapter 25, which says, "Whatever you do for the least of my brothers, you do for me." And children certainly fit into that category. So that's where the name came from.
Well, it's a great story, and we want our viewers to know a little bit more about it. How many students and how many schools do you provide food for?
Right now, we provide food for 500 Brunswick County students each week, representing 12 area schools. And that has grown from one student in 2010. So it's grown very, very quickly.
Wow. Okay, a couple of quick questions. Where do you get your food?
The food is all donated, and we have drop-off locations. The main one is at Southport Realty in Southport next to Taylor's, where people bring food to donate for the program, and then individual monetary donations are used to purchase food to meet the needs of food that's not donated. All food and money is individual donations, and it's amazing to see how the community has come together
So
for
it's
that.
entirely a private endeavor.
Entirely private. It is a 501c3, so any food or money that's donated is tax deductible.
Sure, that's good.
But it's something that the whole community has reached out to support.
Wow. Okay, how do you identify students in need?
Usually the student is identified by a social worker who recognizes either in their school environment the student is showing signs of hunger at school that might come to their attention because of a teacher, or a lot of times you see these kids in the cafeteria and they eat everything on their plate,
I see.
which is not typical of a little kid. Little kids are picky, and these kids are not picky, and they a lot of times want more food. So they're identified by a teacher or a social worker, and then the social worker gets the paperwork to the family. Family fills it out, and then we start the process.
Wow, that's a touching story. Prior to our going on the air, you told me a somewhat personal story, and I'd like our viewers to hear it.
Yes, I was telling you about a child. I do not know the identities of these children who receive the food, but a lot of the kids who see me know that I bring food for backpacks. And a child had seen me at school and ran up to me because she forgot her backpack that week. And she was so upset because she said, when she goes home on Friday, there is no food at her house. And that to me really emphasized the need for this program in this county. And of course we made arrangements, got food for her, but the children are depending on this food. There is not food in their homes. And in 2012, America, that's just not acceptable at all.
Hunger hurts.
Yes, hunger
Really
hurts.
does. So we're talking about considerably large amounts of food. They come to one of your storage facilities.
Yes.
And then how do they land at the school and then in the student's backpack?
Well, I have teams of shoppers each week. There's a team for each school, and they go out weekly, purchase the food that's on this shopping list. They bring it back to Southport Realty, where I store the food, and then volunteers come, pick up the food, and distribute it to the schools so that they can pack it in the backpacks.
And logistically, that's
It is
quite a challenge.
Yes, it's a challenge, but I have over 30 volunteers in the county. It works. It's like a factory assembly line. It works perfect, and I could not do it without them.
That's great. You mentioned that a lot of your food is donated, but you obviously depend on cash contributions as well. What's the relative percentage of each?
I've just been working on grants, so I can answer this pretty accurately.
Good.
We have about 50% of the food is donated. 50% has to be purchased each month. So each month I spend roughly $3,500 on buying the additional food, and then the other half of the food is donated to go in the backpacks.
And as to the food donors, are they as small as individuals and as large as some companies?
I received my first grant this week from ATMC. Just got it on Wednesday night, and so it can be corporations, it can be civic organizations, it can be churches, or individuals. I have individuals that pledge money to me monthly, and then I'll go talk at different groups and get people to give that way as well. Any amount can be used, and any amount at a grocery store can be used. If you're at the grocery store and see a box of granola bars and want to donate that, that is just as valuable to me as a money donation.
Great. And most of, well, virtually all of it should be non-perishable.
Yes, I do not have a facility that can do any perishable goods, so all non-perishables, but I can really use anything that is donated.
And that leads me to my next question. What really is your greatest need at this point?
Well, our greatest need, each week we have a set shopping list, a shopping list A and shopping list B, and we like things that are lighter for the backpacks because they're little kids carrying them.
Sure.
So macaroni and cheese, ramen noodles, pastas, always are great things. Granola bars, crackers, soups, Chef Boyardee's, things that are easy to prepare, wouldn't necessarily need a parent to prepare it if they're home after school alone, because we do go up to middle school and high school students. So those are the things we need the most.
This is somewhat of a technical question, but tell us about your operating costs. This is not an insubstantial matter that you're involved in.
The wonderful thing about this ministry is I don't have any operating costs. I have no paid employees.
Good.
I have a facility that has donated space to me for free. So any money that is given to Matthew's ministry, 100% of it is used for food. And that's another thing that's near and dear to me because all these people that have volunteered their time are strictly volunteers.
Well, it's an heroic effort, and I know our viewers are going to be inspired by your story and your contribution. Tell us how to get in touch, whether you have a website and any other contact information.
I do have a website. It's www.matthewsministry.com. And on that website is my email address. There's a place where you can put your email address and sign up for a monthly newsletter as needs change each month. And I also have a Facebook page, Matthew's Ministry. So those are two ways people can kind of keep up with what the program's doing.
Good. Your organization has grown from 1 to 500 in such a short period of time, and my guess is that you'll continue to grow it because the needs of these students will not go away.
That's correct, and it's always important. I think two things that I'm going to need in the near future are people who will help me spearhead a corporate fundraising so that we can raise money to enable this to continue.
Right.
And also, the other big need I'm going to have is I'm going to need a bigger warehouse. Southport Realty has been so generous. They've done this for me for 2 years for free, but the food is soon going to overtake the space, and so I'm going to need another place to keep the food. And those are going to be the two things I focus on in 2013.
Let's hope there are a few viewers out there that will think of that need and help us fill it.
That would be wonderful.
Now, I know you speak to civic groups and others frequently. Tell us about that.
Any group, civic, church, any individual organization, I will get requests to come and speak, and that seems to be the best way to get the word out, too, about Matthew's Ministry. So if you are a member of a group that you would like me to come and tell you my story and how it started and how it's growing, I would love to do that. And like I said, my email address is on the website.
Kristy Disbrow, you're making a difference in the lives of hundreds of children, and we thank you for being with us today.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks. Thank you for joining us this month on Brunswick Now. If you have any questions about the guests you've seen on today's show, perhaps you'd like more information or to get in touch with them, feel free to give us a call at 910-755-1770. Again, thank you for joining us, and I hope you'll join us again for Brunswick Now in the new year, right here on ATMC TV.
From all of us at ATMC, the very best wishes to you this holiday season.
Is 6:30 too early for a Get Fit workout? Are your weeknights too hectic to catch West Brunswick football? Find yourself missing all your favorite ATMC TV shows? Well, now you don't have to. ATMC TV is airing all their latest shows on demand. Stop, pause, fast forward, or rewind. Watch your shows on your time. Tune to Channel 1 to see shows like Get Fit, Tea Time, Community Spotlight, and more. Stay connected to beautiful Brunswick County with ATMC TV on demand. Brought to you free by ATMC.